Hey everyone, I wanted to take a few minutes today and talk a little bit about, this connection between the unsecured capital and working capital as gap funding for real estate investors. There seems to be a little bit of confusion in the markets as to how it really works, and so I wanted to just kind of shed a little bit of light on that. We have a number of programs that work for real estate investors. We do the fix and flip funding, which we can do up to 100%, depending on the borrower's, I guess, credit and their experience levels. We can do up to 100% at 65% of the ARV, or we can do 90% up to 75% of the ARV. So again, it just depends. And when I say, credit or experience, the experience can just be one or two deals in the previous experience. We do newbies all the time, but in terms of the programs that we offer, we have the gap funding or gap financing programs, as they're so often referred to. But I want to share some detail on how it really works. Something to know. When you're looking at doing, let's say, a flip, and you're doing per se like a 90% on one of the loans, 85 or 90% on the LTC, or the loan to cost, or essentially your purchase price, and you've got to put 10 or 15% down. We have a lot of investors who want to do multiple deals, and so it can be a little taxing in terms of your cash flow, having to put down cash on a series of deals or a bunch of deals at one time. And so we offer another program for the gap funding, which helps real estate investors get some cash that they can use to really leverage and split out across the deals. And the way that it works is this, though. This is the thing that you really got to keep in mind. There's got to be a little bit of a strategic approach, because most lenders don't want to see a credit pull just before you come in and get qualified for your fix and flip. So there's two ways we solve that. The first thing is this: when we set you up for a fix and flip, you stay qualified with us as a borrower. So for the next year, you're not having to go back through credit pulls or requalifying. You can keep buying at the 90 or the 100% deals, as well as we can also set you up to stay qualified to continue to buy rentals. Rates right now are at 4%. We even get down to the low threes if you do rate buy downs on rentals at 80% on purchases. But we'll keep that for a separate conversation. So right now, the way that it works is we get you set up. If we do this first, we get you set up for your fix and flip. And once all that is good and ready to go, then what we actually can do is get you set up on the gap funding or gap financing as well. And essentially what that is just an unsecured loan. Right? It's something that's really strictly based upon credit. You've got to have good credit. And here's the other part of it: you got to have low inquiries on your credit. In other words, if you've got, we like to lean to the 680, 700 scores or better, which is what you see just on a market-wide basis right now. But there are options down at the 650 credit scores if you also have W-2 income in today's market. So there's a way to get the qualifications done if you are strictly 1099, but you want low inquiries and high scores. And there is some flexibility. If you are a W-2 worker and you're looking for the gap financing or gap funding, there's a lot more opportunity to help that way, just based on what the lenders are bringing back to us. So both are doable. One just seems to have a little bit more flexibility because of the stability of income, right? So you're not necessarily punished for being a 1099 borrower. That's not it. It's just that the programs vary in how they go through the underwriting and how they mitigate the risk and so forth. Then what happens is this: the gap funding is a number of things. It's not necessarily one particular program. Depending on the borrower's profile, you can actually get, for example, we have folks that have qualified for a 5, 7, or 10-year term loan. For $350,000 that they can take, split out into deals, and now they're doing fix and flips. They're buying, they're putting cash down, sometimes on rentals. We don't always recommend that, because if you go out right now and you look for gap funding, and let's just say you Google it and you start looking across the spectrum, you're going to see that the rates are low. Rates are good. They can be anywhere from 6% on up. And if you get something like the credit card stacking, because again, the gap funding has several avenues. Like when you get in and get qualified, you can come back with offers. Credit card stacking is 0% for up to 18 months. You can also get a term loan or an installment loan as an option on the gap funding as well. So again, it just depends on the borrower setup and what they would qualify for. And it gets even better because you can actually get a whole combination. You can get approved for a term loan, which is the longer term loans, the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year, 10 year could be. And it could be, let's say you get approved for a term loan at 5 years for 150,000 or 7 years for 150,000. But then you can also get an installment loan, which are the shorter loans at say 45,000 or 25,000, so you get a little bit more cash. The key behind all of this though is that it's all about leveraging it into a real estate deal. When you're talking fix and flips, as you know, those deals move quick. You're in and out of deals in 90, 120, 180 days. If you're doing new construction that's non-modular, you might be in it for eight months before you sell. But even with those, what we see in today's market, those deals sell. A builder goes out and starts digging dirt, and folks are showing up with offers. Realtors, agents are calling them saying, what are you building? Let's see it. And those deals are selling quick. So even when you're talking about new construction, things of that nature, it allows you to get in and out of deals. So when someone gets a term loan for the 350, typically it's not all going into one deal. Typically the savvy real estate investor is saying, hey, listen, I'm going to put this cash into several deals and leverage it, so that I can use that funded money to go do more deals and make more revenues. We see investors all the time picking up properties, 120 grand per se, putting in, 30, 40, 50 grand, and then selling them 225, 250 in those ranges. Folks buying properties for 80 grand, putting in 20, and then coming back and refining them at 150 to exit hard money loans. So there's good money, there's good revenues and margins in those deals. And having the access to these different type of funding mechanisms just gives you more power to leverage, to get out there, do more deals without using your cash. There is also an option for an actual RLOC, a revolving line of credit. So when we're talking to our real estate investors up front, we're asking what is it you're looking for? And then we try to target into those programs. A lot of times it comes back, it's really dependent upon what the credit and experience looks like, but most borrowers know what both of those aspects of the deal are when they come in the door. So we just work then to help them figure out what's going to be the best setup. And we offer programs like the real estate exposure lines of credit, to where starting at a 620 score, if you got even one deal or none at all is your first time, we can help you get set up on a line of credit for anywhere from $500,000 all the way on up to 10 million, and take you up to 85%, 90% on your fix and flips, 100% rehab on all of those. Rehab is included in escrow, up to 75% of the ARV. The ARV fluctuates just based on experience. Typically, once you get past one, it gets a little better. And then once you get past 2, 3, then you start to get to the higher after repaired values and the higher loan to costs as well. And not to mention, we have asset-based programs that still do real estate credit lines as well too. So the goal is always to bring a long-term solution to our borrowers. How do we help you get set up, with the gap funding that you need, but also get you into a program where you can just keep turning and burning through properties without having to come back and continuously requalify. So if you're interested, definitely hit the link below, rfsfunding.com/real estate. We'll take you to the real estate application process. Send us an email, info@Rapid Funding Solutions. If you've got questions or just want to know more, we're certainly interested in talking with you. Thanks so much.